Good morning everyone, welcome to today's maths lesson. So the first thing I'd like you to do is write today's date and skill into your catch-up book, please. So today's date is Wednesday the 20th of January 2021 and the skill is to make equal groups by grouping and sharing. So pause the video and write that in for me now. Okay, so Buzz Lightyear needs some help ordering these cards from smallest to largest. Have a look at the cards and use your knowledge of multiplication to help him order them. So we've got 5 lots of 10, 7 groups of 10, 10 times 3 and 6 times 10. So I'd like you to pause the video, work out the answer to each of these cards and then put them in the order from the smallest to the largest. So you can pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so hopefully you said the smallest was 10 times 3, which we know equals 30. 5 lots of 10 was next because that equals 50. 6 times 10 because that's 60. And 7 groups of 10, which is equal to 70. Well done if you got them right. Good job. You can give yourselves a tick. Okay, let's learn then. So over the next few lessons, we are going to be learning about division. So what new vocabulary will we be using? Can you just pause the video and have a quick think, 30-second think, what other ways can we talk about division? Which other words can we use to describe division? So pause the video and just have a quick think. Okay, well done. So some of the vocabulary that we will be using this week, we've got divide, sharing, grouping, bar method, so that might be a new one that you didn't come up with. The bar method is a method that we will use to work out division questions, division number sentences. And the inverse operation. We've talked a lot about the inverse operation. So the inverse operation is the opposite, isn't it? So the addition is the inverse of subtraction and subtraction is the inverse of addition. And so it's the same with multiplication and division. Multiplication is the inverse of division and division is the inverse of multiplication because they are opposite. So those are the things we might be referring to this week. So if you're not sure, you can always come back to this part of the slide just to double check the vocabulary, double check the words. Okay, let's go through a division number sentence together. So this one says 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So the 10, the biggest number, is at the beginning of the number sentence, and that is the number that we have got in total. So that's the total amount that we have got of things we've got in it. If it's a word problem of apples we've got, for example. So that's the total amount. Then that symbol in the middle, the line with the 2 dots, is telling us that we are going to divide the total. So we're going to group or share the total amount. 5 is then the number in each group or the number that you are sharing by. And then 2, of course, is the answer. So in this case, there would be 5 groups with 2 in each group, or the number 10 shared between 5 people means that they would get 2 each. So we are going to have a look at grouping first. So we can divide by making groups of equal amounts. When we group, we know that the number of objects in each group should receive the same number, the total number of objects we have. Let me say that again, that didn't make any sense. So when we're grouping, we know that the number of objects each group should receive will then total the whole amount of objects that we've got. So if we've got 10 apples, we know that once we've grouped them, although they'll be in a smaller group, altogether there will still be 10 apples. We're not going to add any more or take any away, they'll still be the same number. So let's have a look and see how many groups we can make. So Buzz has got 20 sweets. He put 2 sweets in each bag. How many bags can he fill? So pause the video now and have a little think. He's got 20 sweets, so these are his sweets or chocolates, and he's going to put 2 in each bag. So he's going to group 2 together, and then we're going to find out how many groups he's then got in total. So pause the video and have a little think about that question. Okay, so this number sentence would be 20 divided by 2 because we need to find the number of groups that we're going to have in total. Let's have a look on the next slide. It explains it slightly more clearly. So this bar model is showing us we've got 20 as the total. So that's the total number of sweets or chocolates that Buzz Lightyear has got. And as we said, he's putting 2 in each group. So they've got nice little bags with beautiful ribbons on. So how many groups has he got in total? So hopefully you've noticed that in each group there are 2 chocolates, and all of them have got exactly the same. They've all got 2. They are equally grouped, they're equally shared. So once we've counted up the answer, we can see that there are 10 groups because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bags. So they've been grouped into 10 separate groups. So we know then that 20 divided by 2 equals 10 because we've got 20 chocolates in total divided by into groups of 2. So we've got 2 in each bag, which means we've got 10 bags altogether. So the answer has to be 10. Okay, I'm going to have a go. You're going to have a go at this now. So first we're going to focus on grouping. So you can get 20 items. So you could use your printed counters that we sent home in your bags, or you could use anything really, like Lego blocks, dry pasta, anything you've got 20 of. And your first task is to make groups of 2, groups of 5, and groups of 10. So using your 20 items of whatever you're using, you're going to then use those 20 items to make groups of 2. So you're going to group them together, and then how many groups have you got? And into your book, you need to write 20 divided by 2 equals, and then however many groups you've got is the answer. Once you've done that, you can move on to question 2, which is make groups of 5. So again, you've got your 20 counters, for example, put them into groups of 5. How many groups of 5 have you got altogether? And then you're going to write 20 divided by 5 equals and the total number of groups you've got. And then finally, the same with question 3. So you've got make groups of 10. So you've got your 20 counters or 20 objects, group them into groups of 10, 20 divided by 10 equals, and you'll write your answer. So that is task 1 for today. And your challenge, is it possible to split 20 items into groups of 4? So same thing, 20 counters into groups of 4. What's the answer? Is it possible? Can you do it? So I'd like you to pause the video now and have a go at this task. Okay, well done for completing task 1. So now we've had a look at grouping, we're going to move on to sharing. So when you share, you start with the total number of objects you have and the number of groups you need to share into. So before, when we did grouping, we didn't know how many groups there were, but we knew each group had to have a certain amount. So of the chocolates, each group had to have 2 chocolates. Whereas this time, we've still got a total amount, but we know how many groups they've got to be. So we're going to share them. So you take your counters and you'll put 1 in each group until you've filled all the groups. Then you can put a second counter or whatever object you're using into each group and carry on until you've got no counters left and they've all been shared equally. So Buzz has 18 pieces of Lego. He shares the Lego between 2 aliens. How many pieces of Lego will they have each? So we've got, our total is 18, and we know that it needs to be split into 2 groups because we've got 2 aliens. So I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at splitting these 18 pieces of Lego into the 2 groups for the 2 aliens and see what number you get into each group. So you can pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, so we have done 18 divided by 2. That's our number sentence, isn't it? So now we're going to have a look at what we got. So we've got our 2 aliens here, and we're going to double check that they have got an equal amount. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they're definitely shared equally, and you can double check if you want to count that in total we've still got 18 pieces of Lego like we had at the beginning. But to find the answer, we just need to count 1 group. So we know that 18 pieces of Lego split into 2 groups is going to equal what? Hopefully you said it's going to equal 9 because there's 9 pieces of Lego in each group. So 18 divided by 2 equals 9. So 18 Lego bricks in total, shared between 2 aliens, gives them 9 Lego bricks each. Well done if you got that, good job. Okay, so much like we did with task 1, you're going to have a go practically with your objects and then write your number sentences into your book. So we're going to focus on sharing this time. So you've got your 20 items again, whatever it is that you're using today. And for the first one, you're going to share 20 items equally between 10 plates. Now you could actually get 10 plates if you want to, or you could just put out 10 pieces of paper, or just imagine 10 different plates if that's easier for you. Then into your book, 20 divided by 10 equals, and how many objects are on one of the 10 plates, that's your answer. For question 2, share 20 items equally between 5 plates. Again, they can be imaginary plates. And you're going to write into your book, 20 divided by 5 equals, and then however many objects you've got on one plate. And finally, share the 20 items equally between 2 plates, and then into your book, 20 divided by 2 equals, and you're just going to count 1 plate. And your challenge for this task, Buzz has 20 sweets and shares them between 4 friends. Woody has 20 sweets and shares them between 10 friends. Who will receive the most sweets, and how do you know? Okay, so pause the video for me now and you can have a go at answering these questions. Okay, your final thought for today then. Buzz has some counters. He makes 5 equal groups. The amount he started with is greater than 10, but less than 35. How many counters could he have started with? And how many will be in each group? Okay, so this is a tricky one. Have another read through it on your own. You can pause the video and see if you can find the answer to the last 2 questions. Okay, well done. So he could have 30 counters in 5 groups of 6, 25 counters in 5 groups of 5, 20 counters in 5 groups of 4, or 15 counters in 5 groups of 3. Okay, well done if you got that. That was a tricky final thought today. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Take care and I will see you soon. Bye.